Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. In this series, you'll learn about Thread Program using Lambda. All code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
Now, small example I want to implement using Lambda expression, some thread example, okay? So it will give a good idea, then we'll come with that. Because there is an alternative of Lambda expression also, okay? So I'll come into that. But before that, I'll show one small thread example. Okay, how I can execute a small thread. And how I can implement that thread example using Lambda expression, right? So as you know that if I'm going to get a simple thread class, I'm going simple class only. Simple class thread. Assume I'm going to create a thread class like class thread demo. Okay. This is a thread demo, or assume I'm going to thread. Okay, fine. Now inside this class, we have, or you can write a class A. This is I'm going to create one thread, and this is my main class. Okay. So inside the main class, you have a main method, static void main, and you can move with this like string args. So I have to create a thread class. How I do till Java 7. How to get a thread class? My class should extends. Assume you are going to create a bike thread. Okay, so you can create a bike class. Bike extends. Assume you are creating a thread class extending thread. So thread is a default package, right? It is in the default. It is defined in the default package called lang package. So while I'm going to generally write the logic of the thread class, logic of the thread class is written inside public void run. Inside this run method, we generally write the logic of the thread class, right? Now, what we generally do is that I want to execute I want to follow some loop. Assume I'm going to follow some loop, you know. Or if you want, I want to implement create a thread class, implement runnable interface. That is also fine. Implements runnable, and you're overriding the run method from runnable interface to your class with your own code. Like for, you can write here int I, and I less than 30. Okay, and I plus plus. I plus plus. You can use this like this. So this is a simple for loop that is moving 30 times. And it is just give you the thread name like system.out.println. And what this print is going on is that this is bike thread, or bike thread is running, something like that, right? So bike is running. So this is a thread class as you find here. I do not do anything. And this thread class we have created implementing readable interface. So What is the approach in that case is that you have to get a class of thread t1 equal to new thread, correct? Here I have to pass an object of bike, like new bike, like this. So this is an approach, right? In case of when I'm going to create a thread class implementing runnable interface, then I have to pass that thread class object inside my thread class constructor object, as well as you can use the name of the thread like bike, like that. Fine. Then I should start the thread. How to start the thread? T1 dot start. T1 dot start. This is a approach. T1 dot start. Right. So this is how it is, right? So let me check how it is running. Control C. You get a thread program. To create another one class here. Right click, new class. And assume this class we are going to write one demo package or main demo. Assume this is my main class. So we have saved this class like this. So right click, so format, save it. Now this is my run method. For I equal to 0, I less than 30, I plus plus, and so int I equal to 0, I less than 30, I plus plus. This is the condition we have used. Right click, source format. So this work thread implementation already you know. If I'm going to start the corresponding thread, you can see the thread started moving 30 times, and it is, since I've given the thread name as bike, so it is saying that bike is running, though I have not printed the name of the thread. If you want, it can print the name of the thread also, right? So the question is that what I want is that this thread program I want to execute using runnable interface. This thread program we want to implement using using Lambda expression. So already you're familiar with right that runnable, this work like a our functional interface. Okay, so what I can do is that, as you know, the point is like what I can do is that runnable is same like functional interface, right? So I can directly write runnable, or let me write it here. Better writing here. Let me write it here. So this code I want to execute using Lambda expression. Correct. So in that case, you just copy this code and just see how I'm going to replace this code using Lambda expression. Second part. So Lambda expression is saying that no function name, no return type, no modifier. That is no input. That's it. This is my Lambda expression. If it is, then you can define it like this way also, like as you can define it as an if you want, you can define it as in like this syntax also, like already you know, right? This is a syntax of Lambda expression is nothing but your anonymous class object. Fine. So now this I can directly replace inside this class main method. This is an anonymous class object. And this object I can point out using runnable R. I'm just saying a different approach. This is, I'm going to point out this object using a reference of R. And this R I'm going to pass here inside the constructor. Then I'm going to start a thread. Right, so we can use like this, no issues. So I don't need this implementation also. Control X, not required. Like, so let me check it's working or not. Control C. This is another one approach, because as you know that Lambda expression is nothing but anonymous class object. Okay, sometimes you can change it. So right click new class main demo. So class name is main demo. And I can say, so int I equal to 0, I less than 30, I plus plus. This is the same method. I'm getting a thread as well as starting the thread. And you know that in case of runnable implementation, how to pass that object inside the class constructor. We run it. Yes, it is working fine. So the thing is that the purpose of showing the reason is that, see, without, I can write the same code like this, but when I go with this runnable function interface implementation, then I have to write less number of code, right? So you know that is the best approach, right? When I'm going to replace, when I'm going to reduce huge amount of code. So it is one type of optimization, code optimization, right? So that is one of the important features in our object-oriented code itself. Fine. Now the point is that you can use Lambda expression. So one of the questions on all the approach you'll find that is there any alternative to Lambda expression or not? Yes, I'm calling this Lambda expression. Yes, I'm calling this Lambda expression, or this is my Lambda expression in all the example that we have done. This is my Lambda expression. And this is my Lambda expression. I have used lots of examples. This is my Lambda expression. Correct? And I'm calling this Lambda expression using function interface. So Lambda expression is used to call, or Lambda expression is used to call using functional interface. That is a normal approach.